Hey, it is December 31st, 2023, and I thought, let's just have a little chat. I'm in my parents' basement in Alberta, Canada. If you're new around here, my name is Dina, and I am an almost 40-year-old living downtown Toronto, usually when I'm not in my parents' basement in Alberta, which is where I grew up, and I have fibromyalgia and CPTSD. Christmas is hard. It's a hard one for me. We used to have a lot of wonderful traditions, and my mom, my brother, and I would all go to church growing up. We'd go to the Christmas Eve service, and then my brother and I would exchange one present that we could open on Christmas Eve. Christmas Day, we would have a big, beautiful dinner. We used to go to my aunt's house in Calgary, and everyone would be invited, and we'd have a really nice time. As everybody got older, that started to change, and then my brother got married, and it became about our immediate family, and then kids came along, and that became very exciting. But as we got older, my parents kind of checked out a little bit. For better or for worse, I'm one of those people that really feels loved by gifts. I kind of hate that about myself, but it's who I am, and I also love giving gifts. And as soon as I buy something for someone, I want them to have it. Like, I don't wait on it. I'm like, no, you have to have this now, because it actually brings me a lot of joy to give things to people. I'm the only one in my family like this. In my 30s, in my early 30s, I really made it a huge point to just make sure that everyone had a good Christmas. So I would make sure everyone had a lot of presents, everyone had stocking stuffers, and I would send my mom and my dad lists and be like, buy these for people. My sister-in-law would help buy everyone else's presents, and we kind of took care of that side of things. Mom would still make the big Christmas dinner and everything. Then 6 or 7 years ago, I'm losing track of when it actually happened, which isn't a bad thing. My family kind of blew apart, and Christmas has just been difficult ever since that moment. 6 months after the big bad thing happened, my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and this is probably our last Christmas with her at home. I thought that last Christmas would be, but thankfully she's still here. But this Christmas I don't see how she could possibly be home for another Christmas. We have care coming in for her to help give her her meds and everything, but she is declining and getting more and more confused, and I can't imagine how scary it is for her. It's also very scary for me. I'm not in a place where I want to talk about how she's declining, and I genuinely wish that more people understood that. A lot of people ask me how she's doing, which I do appreciate, but there are certain people who, if I say, you know what, I really don't want to talk about it right now, they almost seem offended. And I just wish that they could just kind of, just respect that boundary. That doesn't always happen. So this Christmas, we didn't really have a Christmas day. I flew home on the 24th, late in the evening, and our December 25th was just another day. We hung out, we had some food. Our beautiful neighbors brought over some food for mom and dad, which was so lovely. And we were going to have Christmas with my now sister friend and the kids on the 26th, but my sister friend ended up being sick. So I went over to her parents' house where the kids were, and we had a little bit of gift opening there, but that was kind of it. I've just been staying at home and kind of trying to be on top of all the things that are expected of me. Anytime I come home to visit, I have kind of a number of things that I try to get done every single time. So clean up my dad's desk. My dad is retired, but he was an entrepreneur his whole life, and he still has a lot of business odds and ends that keep coming through. So I clean up and organize his desk. I clean up the kitchen. I clean out the fridge for my parents. I try to help out with some housekeeping things and just stuff like that. So I really tried to front load a lot of that. I'm home for 2 weeks. I tried to get the majority of that stuff done at the beginning, through last week. I took one day off yesterday and went to Banff for the day with my best friend. It's something that I look forward to every single year. Christmas in Banff is really gorgeous, and I will show you that adventure. but it really just helps me relax and helps me breathe. The minute I was driving towards the mountains and I caught a glimpse of the sun rising and hitting them yesterday, I just like exhaled and it really helps ground me. Today is December 31st and I'm just gonna chill with my parents all day. I'm gonna walk the dog after I record this, and then we're just gonna have a typical night. My mom is still sleeping. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. I'm gonna try to wake her up and see if she'll walk the dog with me, but if she doesn't, I'll go do that by myself. And then we're just gonna hang out. It's just another day. For me though, I don't love resolutions, but I love goals. Goals are a big thing for me. I have goals going into 2024, and I would really love to hear yours. If you're a resolution person, please let me know, drop them below. If you prefer to think of them as goals, also drop them drop them below. I would love to hear. Here are some of my goals. They will shift and change throughout the year, just depending on where I'm at. Yeah, some of my big goals are as follows. I'm finally feeling like I'm in a good enough mental space to kind of tidy and purge some stuff from my apartment. I find that whenever I start to feel a little bit healthier mentally, I'm able to let go of more things, and I've really had that urge to do it. You've seen it in some of my other videos, that it's kind of burning inside of me that I need to like take care of that stuff. So I'll be doing a little bit of a series on that. I would really like to try my best to put out 52 long form videos this year for y'all, and the goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers. I don't fully know how to do that and I need to look into how to accomplish stuff like that and do a little bit more research, but I really do enjoy doing YouTube, and in the busyness of my life, I actually find it something that soothes me. The moment that things start to feel overwhelming is the moment I will take a step back, but for me right now, this is something I genuinely enjoy, so you will be seeing more from me and more content. Hey Alice, go drink some water. I do have some health goals. I need to find a new doctor, so that's a January thing. Weight loss is always kind of a taboo subject to talk about. But I do want to lose weight. I do want to lose fat because I'm going to be 40 next year, and I know, because I work with a lot of older people and I work with a lot of younger people. I really like span the gamut in the people that I get to interact with on a weekly basis, and I really try to take advantage of that. I try to learn from the people that I work with who are older than me and the people that I work with that are younger than me. And one of the things that has been very clear to me from the older crowd is really just staying active for your own autonomy. I know without a shadow of a doubt that with my fibromyalgia, I will feel better at a lower weight. I do feel better at a lower weight. I have some goals this year that will challenge me mentally, that will help me get there. I just have to do some other things in my life to also help me get there, and that's all I'll say about that. But I would like to just get into better shape, if that makes sense. Physical goals this year, I oscillated between doing an Olympic triathlon, my first one, or doing another sprint and just trying to get under 2 hours. My first sprint triathlon was 2 hours and 30. I didn't really work towards swimming fast or biking fast. I just wanted to accomplish the distances. So this year, the goal is sub 2 hours, and I'll be doing a sprint. That said, the course is a lot more hilly, both on the run and the bike, so we'll see what happens. But the goal is sub 2 hours for a sprint, and it's actually happening on my 40th birthday. So I need to sign up for that. I haven't signed up for that yet. Anyways, I need to find someone who's willing to do it with me, or at least go up to the location for the weekend with me. The big thing that's happening this year is we're going to Peru. 3 friends, maybe 4, and I are going to hike Machu Picchu. We're going to go to Rainbow Mountain. We're going to stay at the Sky Lodge, which is an hour and a half via Ferrata up to these like this hotel on the side of a mountain. It's very cool. There's a lot of stuff we'll be doing. We'll be down there for 2 to 3 weeks. That's happening in August, and man, am I looking forward to that. So great way to celebrate turning 40. So I do need to get more active. I have other kind of seemingly silly goals like flossing every day. One of my students and I made a goal, and I genuinely hope she forgets, that we're going to keep track of how many days we floss in 2024, and whoever flosses the most gets treated to pizza at the end of the year by the other person. So we'll see what happens there. From a musical standpoint, I need to finally conquer Clair de Lune. It's been years in the making, and I just haven't settled in to actually learn it to the best of my ability. And I'm kind of thinking that if I can get a handle on it, this is a soft promise. I shouldn't even call it a promise. This is a soft goal that is movable should it need to be moved. But my goal is to conquer it by June so that I can actually play it at my students' recital, because playing the piano is actually something that's really scary for me in person, in front of people, and that's a really big goal that I would like to achieve. I'd like to get back into bi-weekly lessons, get my voice back. That's kind of the last piece of the puzzle to finding myself again and really becoming me again. So I have a soft goal of doing a recital this year. I don't know what that looks like, and that could again be something that needs to pivot and shift, and if that happens, that is okay. That is okay. I want to hike more this year. I don't think I hiked at all last year, which is really depressing because I love hiking. And I want to boulder a couple of times a month because I genuinely enjoy that as well and want to get better. I take too much time off in between. So anytime I go back into it, it takes me a couple of times just to feel comfortable on the wall again. So that's something I would like to do. I have, of course, financial goals. I have a decent amount of debt that I am slowly chipping away at. And that kind of ties into my goal of working through my debt, ties into just eating healthier and, working on healing my gut a little bit. I know that's like the buzzword of 2023 is gut health, but genuinely, I have intolerances to some food that I still eat and I don't feel great. And I know that I have these 3 or 4 goals that kind of fit into place. So ordering out less is the number one thing there. It will help me save money, and it will help me eat healthier and more intentionally. Because when I order out things that I don't keep in my house because those things make me sick. And I currently, when I'm at home, I order out probably 2 times a week, and it's money that I don't need to spend. If it's dire and I just have not had time to prep, sure. But I really want to cut that back and put the money that I would put into ordering out onto my credit card debt, which is really awful and needs to be taken care of. Things around the apartment, I've already talked about kind of purging a little bit, but I also would like to paint. I just really want to make it my cozy, just kind of home. With the rental prices in Toronto and what I'm locked in at right now for rent, I can't move. Even if I wanted to, which I don't, I can't move. If I ended up moving, I'd end up in a basement apartment somewhere, probably not even in Toronto, because it is such an unaffordable city to live in right now that I am thankfully locked in with a pretty great rate for the size of 1 bedroom that I'm in. So therefore, we're not moving, but we're gonna make it just the coziest, comfiest sanctuary that I can have. Lastly, would like to stop using transit so much. I've really relied on it the past year, and it's expensive, and it's not worth it. One of my jobs, it's either a 20-minute walk or a 20-minute transit ride to get to, so why don't I just walk? It's ridiculous for me to take transit. I would like to start commuting again to teaching as well on my bike. Hopefully that happens more. I keep in touch with a really beautiful friend who I met while we were performing in France together like 9-10 years ago, and we help each other stay accountable to things. So what I need to do for small things that I want to be intentional about doing on a daily basis or a weekly basis. We kind of create little goals for ourselves through the week, and we try to hold each other accountable to that. So I will be sitting down and like creating like a big goal list. It's going to be goals and then action points on how to achieve those goals, and then breaking it apart, because I find that if you try to go all in on everything all at once, something's gonna give. Your goals aren't going to be achievable, and it's not going to be sustainable. So it's all about, for me, my thought is it's all about creating smaller achievable goals that you can actually succeed at, and then you can start adding more and more to that. I was at the pool the other day here in the next town up from where my parents are, and it's a lot of really friendly older people that I end up swimming with, and they're so great. They love having conversation with you. So as we're all getting into the pool to do our lap swims, one of the ladies made a comment about how, in January the pool is going to be really, really busy, but then in February it's going to be quiet again. and that's pretty typical. So my suggestion for you, if you have goals that you would like to achieve this year, is to break them down. What steps do you need to take in order to make A, B, and in order to make this happen? What steps are A, B, C to make the bigger goal happen? Or maybe it's just the smaller goal of, okay, this week I'm going to floss every day, right? And then it becomes a habit. There's been multiple studies, but some people say that it takes 21 days to form a habit. So maybe you add a new thing in every 21 days. Just depends on what you need and what your intentions are for the year. The past couple of years, I have said that my kind of word or intention for the year was brave, and I was really going to go for it. And I did that. I did that in 2023. I did my first marathon. I did my first triathlon. I did some big, scary goals. But for 2024, I'm going in soft. My word for the year is just soft. It's going to be a really hard year with Mom's health, and I need to just exhale and take care of my mental health better than I did this last year. I was talking with a friend recently, and I said I try every day to get up and be the best version of myself that I can that day. And they're going through a really hard time, and they said, I get up every day and just try to survive. And both are okay. Some days I'm in survival mode. Some days I'm trying to be my best. I think that whatever your situation looks like, as long as you're getting through each day, that really is what matters. If you are able to put bigger goals out there that feel achievable, then do. If that feels overwhelming, then don't. It's totally fine not to. Give yourself grace and love, and ultimately figure out how to take care of you, because you are so important and so worthwhile and so loved. So just take care of you the best way that you can going into 2024. The world is a scary place right now, and things are hard and heavy. If all you do every day is survive, that is enough. That is enough. All right. Be gentle and kind going into 2024.